I know there are some people talking about this, certainly. But I think more people need to be talking about what our girls are going through right now. So can you just, share with us a little bit more, as much as you feel comfortable, about what your daughter is experiencing and how you're responding as a mom? Help us out, Kira.
I need help. No, I was devastated to hear her say that because you're a mom of girls, so you already know, like,
Yeah, two daughters.
girls already have, teenage years, puberty. It's such a
It's
tough
the
time.
devil.
It really is. And for young women especially, because young men, it takes them a little longer to hit like maturity, right?
Right,
Like
right, right.
mental, emotional, all that. They can be boys into their adulthood, if they just choose to act a certain way, or, sometimes we use this phrase a lot, like, oh, when's he going to grow up?
Right.
We can do that for boys, but for girls, the change from girlhood to womanhood is almost immediate, and it comes physically,
Yeah.
and it really pushes you into it really is an ending of your childhood. It really is, and it comes
Yep.
very early for women. And so it's a lot to deal with as a young girl, and what's going on with your body, and then there's boys in the mix, and then there's
Right.
hormones in the mix, and you're not as free to do all the things that you once did because your
Yep.
body is changing. It's just a
Yeah.
stressful time anyway, and we
Yeah.
hear this kind of stuff from young girls anyway. But the healthy thing to do is to push through the feelings of inadequacy, or like my daughter hates going to youth group, right? Because she
Mhm.
feels like, she's nervous. She doesn't look like the other kids. She
Mhm.
worries about like how she looks, her body, her weight, like all of that. But
Yeah.
we make
Wait,
her
let me
go.
ask you. So really quick, is your daughter, is she like, because I find my daughter is like really almost, she's always in the mirror. She's so concerned about like her body. Is your daughter doing that too? When you say she's concerned about this, is it like almost obsessive?
I wouldn't say my daughter is obsessed with it,
Okay.
but we live in a very hoity-toity area,
Uh-huh.
and there's a certain body type, and that young black women don't always fit,
Right?
and so she's dealing with that. That's what
Okay.
she's dealing with when she's looking
Okay.
in the mirror. But
Yeah.
our solution is you have to push through it. So yes, you have to go to youth group. You have to figure out
Yep.
how to conquer your insecurities,
Yep.
and how to put your best foot forward, how to
Yeah.
make a good impression, how to push through those uncomfortable times, because that's where you find lasting relationships. That's how you find
Mhm.
people who will accept you the way
Yeah.
you are, and you learn how to tell the difference between
Yeah.
people who are judgmental and who will accept you the way you are.
Yeah.
So in a normal world, that's what we would be doing, but these masks give our girls this excuse to really like dig into that mindset that they're not
Yeah.
enough, or that they don't look right, or it's amplifying all the insecurities of
Right.
adolescence, and it's heartbreaking. And I feel
Yeah.
like it prevents me as a parent from doing my job, to like, I
Mm.
can't tell her, take off that damn mask and
Right.
be who you are. I can't tell her that at school, and we're in California and we still have mask
Right.
mandates in
Mm.
school.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's heartbreaking because she is so vibrant, and in a lot of ways she still is, but I can see like how the last 2 years have like chipped away at her confidence and her
Yeah.
personality.
Oh gosh, I that just breaks my heart to hear that. Even with my own daughter, like I hate to hear I even though it was over. So I pulled my daughter out of public school about 3 weeks ago, and we're in Florida. So the mask mandates had ended, but to hear her talk about that, and you know what too? Like I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't know she felt like that." So that was a whole other thing. I was like,
Right.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know you felt like this. Like I felt like, God, you know the thing. You feel like you're being like a bad mom.
Yeah.
You feel like, where was I? How come I didn't see the signs? And I didn't know that she was dealing with that. And so it is so heartbreaking because, like you said, girls, it's like, you gotta go through like the metamorphosis of becoming like you're like
Yeah.
your body is just like, what? huh? What? Like nobody. It doesn't even end there because I find myself as I get older, I have allergy issues now. I have,
No.
you know,
I know.
like
I told
some
my
other.
husband the other day, I'm like, oh no, I'm becoming this person that has to buy the expensive laundry detergent because my
Okay.
skin is too sensitive
Your
for the off
skin
brand.
changes. I mean, it's just like never ends of just this constant metamorphosis that you have to go through as a woman. I feel like it's only us. I really do.
I
But
think so.
it's true though. It's like God, men are like, oh yeah, like it's Wednesday. What's wrong?
Yeah, I'll just age gracefully. But women,
Right.
it's because we do bear so much. We bear children. We
Mhm.
bear the burden of being nurturers. We're
Hmm.
homemakers. Our bodies are built to carry life and nurture life. But
Right.
the downside of that in a broken world is
Mhm.
that our bodies take the heavier toll, and
Right.
so it's that toll shows. And we even if we don't have kids, our bodies are still biologically primed to treat our bodies like we
Yeah.
have kids, or so
Mhm.
you gain weight, you hold weight, all these things are good for
Oh yeah.
childbearing.
Right.
So and
I
then we have
remember, like around 36, I started to get the urge to like have a baby again. And I was like, what
sure.
in the world is it? My mom was like, oh yes, your body is telling you that
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
a little bit more time left before this factory is shut down. And
I'm
so
47 and I
right?
only recently came to the conclusion, like, all right, this is like a couple years ago, I was telling my husband we can get one more in. We can get one more late baby in. And he was like, finally, he was like, you know what? You need to accept that you are done. We're
Exactly.
done with babies, but it's your home
Right.
hormones like
Mhm.
raging against the dying of the light.
Right, right. It's like, girl, them eggs is getting
Right. Come
scrambled.
on.
Yeah, but it's funny that you mentioned, like the nurturing aspect that women naturally have, and I mean, as you're going into puberty, girls are getting that too. And I was just reading articles about what we were going to be talking about, and the social anxiety that girls have because there is this need with the mask in particular. There's this need to want to, I don't want to get other people sick. And of course, like everything that's happening in the news and everything that, the fear. So girls naturally have a want to nurture their other friends. And we grow up in like groups and like more of that community. Like we want to make sure everybody else is taken care of, and we will many times like neglect ourselves, caring about our friends and caring about everybody else, just because of naturally like how we're wired. But this social anxiety that's happening with girls, um let's just say a young girl is having trouble wearing the mask, like maybe there's some medical issue, or maybe like some of our daughters, the social the anxiety piece of it, or not, or the insecurity piece, but they won't even take it off because it's like, well, socially, I'm going to be ostracized. I'm going to look a certain way if I don't take care of the herd, if I'm not like doing
Right.
what everybody else is doing. And so girls naturally have like this want to, fit in more and just, make sure we look a certain way, just like everything that you were talking about. And that anxiety though is causing our kids, our girls, to have mental health issues. There has been a spike
Good point.
in mental health issues with girls over, the last 2 years. I know COVID has been like 2 years. It's hard to believe, but it's been 2 years. But there's been a spike and a sharp increase in the mental health issues, anxiety, emergency room visits with girls. The CDC was reporting, there's not saying that they are actually committing suicide, thank God. I hope that's true. I am very skeptical of the CDC these days, but that's what they say, that they're not committing suicide. But the social anxiety that and the mental health that our girls are going through, and you and I are seeing a little piece of that with our own children. It's staggering.
You make such a good point that we are nurturers. And so this whole like protect the herd really
Hmm.
kicks in our nurturing instincts. And I've been saying, I didn't make that particular connection. And I think it's excellent because I've been saying from the start. Like, we should not be making children responsible for the health of adults. That's too heavy of a burden for them.
Yes.
The children
Yes.
are not at risk, and yet we're masking them. Listen, Keisha, if you live in LA, if you go to a Los Angeles public school, we're having the Super Bowl next month, where the NFL has told Los Angeles, look, we're not abiding by your rules. We go to Texas, or you let us scrap the mask mandates. LA wasn't going to let them serve food or alcohol. No, we're serving food. We're serving alcohol. We're coming. Everything's going to be normal inside that stadium, or we leave. And LA was like, okay. So while that's going on during the Super Bowl, 5-year-old children, 4-year-old children in Los Angeles have to get a swab stuck up their nose twice a week before they can enter the school building. And they have to wear KN95 masks 8 hours a day, including outside.
Jesus, that is out.
And they are not at risk.
Insane.
They are not at risk. So what are we telling them? We keep telling them, yes, but you take this, you could take something home to grandma or grandpa or mom or dad, and you could kill them. We're making them little wannabe murderers. You know what I mean? And so how does a kid internalize that? We went to visit my in-laws for Christmas. They live in Arizona. It's a 6-hour drive. Yeah. And we have other family members that they live close to who are immunocompromised. And so we're always like considering that when we go. But
of course,
our whole side of the family has this whole time has been like, well, no, we're not staying away from each other. That's ridiculous. Like,
right.
So if we have tomorrow, like, we've never stopped getting together and loving on each other. But we went for Christmas. We knew Omicron was raging. And when we came back, my sister-in-law texted to say she had tested positive for COVID. And so she just wanted to let us know. And we ended up all having it. And like, my in-laws were fine. And my immunocompromised relative actually got it too, but she's fine. And anyways, yeah, my whole point is this. When we got back and my daughter found out that they had tested positive, she said, is it my fault? Because she's not vaccinated, right? We're all vaccinated. She's not vaccinated. I'm not getting her vaccinated.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
No, I'm not doing it. And so immediately she was like, I must have brought them this virus. And it was not based in logic at all. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm like, think about everything that the COVID bosses have been telling us. Like in Arizona, they don't have a mask mandate. They don't have vaccine passports. All the stuff that we have in California, they don't. So you've been masking at school all day. You're supposed to be the safe one. How did you take it to them? Why wouldn't you think that it was them that gave it to us? Which it was. It was them that gave it to us.
Right.
But she blamed herself for it.
Oh my God.
This is what we're doing. She's carrying around this burden. Like, if she makes one little mistake, if she takes off this mask in the grocery store, that she's going to actually kill somebody. It's irresponsible.